Hi, Velena Jones here. We are halfway through the Jeremy Christian trial with hours of testimony, close to 40 witnesses taking the stand, and all the little details in between. We're breaking down what you need to know. After 2 weeks of testimony, the prosecution is done making their case, with jurors hearing just how brutal this attack really was.
Waves of his blood were running down the aisle towards me, like you would see when a wave finishes hitting the ocean.
And take a look at this video right here. After hours of emotional testimony, prosecutors are ending the week with this video showing all the different angles to give you a picture of what happened that day in just a matter of seconds. And then there's this, several statements made by Christian after the attack.
That's right, it's a hate crime. Hope they all die.
He said, what do you think when somebody assaults me on the max? They get stabbed in the neck. You don't touch me, all right? That's what happens. I'm a patriot, okay? You put your hands on me, you abridge my freedom of movement, you assault me, you die, okay? That's called America, all right? I've got freedom of speech.
So far, we've heard from medical professionals and law enforcement.
No one has touched him at this point.
And people who were on the train that day in May of 2017. Micah Fletcher, who was diagnosed with autism as a child, is the only living victim of the attack.
I cared about whether or not the other person was getting hurt.
He claims he approached Jeremy Christian after he says he watched Christian yell hate speech and intimidate these girls right here.
He was saying, Muslims, saying go back to Saudi Arabia.
Was there
He said, kill yourself.
Fletcher was already face-to-face with Christian when the girls got off the train. Things escalated, though, when police say Christian hit Talisha Namkai-Meche's phone out of his hand, pushed Fletcher, and then Fletcher pushed back more than once.
I pushed him again,
and
closer, hopefully, towards the door.
how did he respond?
He responded by stabbing me in the throat.
We know that Christian and Fletcher came face-to-face once before at a rally. So what does this all mean? Christian's attorneys claim self-defense, arguing if Micah Fletcher never approached Christian, then things wouldn't have escalated. They also say that Christian did not make the first move. Next is right to free speech. Despite how offensive Christian's claims were, his attorneys say he had every right to make them. And then there's the case for his mental state, his attorneys claiming he is on the autism spectrum. However, prosecutors counter those claims, saying Christian had a history of racist and violent behavior, outlining an incident that happened the night before with an African-American woman that ultimately led to the woman pepper spraying Christian and Christian throwing a water bottle at her face. Next, they say Christian was the aggressor, first grabbing Talisha Namkai-Meche's phone and throwing it down to the ground, then pushing Micah Fletcher. They say he continued to threaten people once off the train, wrapping it up, telling jurors two of the victims, Ricky Bess and Talisha Namkai-Meche, who both died, never even touched Christian. But from where Christian sits, he disagrees.
We just watched the video and she's fine.
Okay,
It's clear. Let's
so
watch
that's it. That's what we're gonna do. So I've done.
You made that. You did strong.
You're gonna be quiet.
Come next week, defense starts sharing their side of the story, calling their own witnesses to the stand. We'll be there to keep you updated along the way. Stay with us on KOIN 6 and KOIN.com for the latest.